have had a great week. And I welcome all of you to our weekly Community of Practice Sunday check-in session, a half hour of Dharma, reflection, and community connections. If you are a new member of our community, please accept our wholehearted welcome to you. If you have any questions regarding our practices and topics, we are all here to help. So it is customary for people in Australia to begin any meetings by acknowledging the traditional owners of our land. I would like to start today by acknowledging the Dharma people as the traditional owners of the land on which Nantian Institute resides. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of various lands on which you all are. And I pay my respects to the elders in the past, present, and emerging. So the check-in sessions has been developed by our communities of practice team and the entire community. The purpose of this session is to develop a reflective practice in response to changes. Guided by humanistic Buddhism, we would like to cultivate our practices and to build memorable friendships. So last week, led by Joey, we reflected on the saying of saying Tathagata. Today, he will share with us the topic of let go of the raft. Let's welcome Joey.
Thanks, everyone. Let's start off with our usual mindful check-in and get ourselves more aware of the present moment. With some deep breaths and a couple of minutes of breathing meditation, we'll position ourselves ready for the check-in. With our first 2 deep breaths in and out, we relax every part of our body from head to toe. With the next 2 deep breaths in and out, we relax our mind and return to the present moment. And the final 2 deep breaths in and out, we turn our focus on our breathing. Every breath in is a reminder that our body is constantly changing, never stop changing. The breath in allows the body to function, the cells have the oxygen, the energy that's needed. Every breath out is a reminder that the green trees are taking the slightly higher amount of carbon dioxide from our breath out to make food. Taken as a whole, aren't we one and not two? The notion of self, the notion of sentient beings, and the notion of others dissolves. Take this moment to be in resonance with the dependencies of us, with every aspect of the universe. And let's remain in this awareness for a minute or so. Whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes and let the wonderful light comes into your mind. So let's pause for a moment and recall our journey swimming in the sea of diamonds. We started with the mindful movement session. While this body will age and eventually disintegrate, and that we learn not to get attached to it, we continue to take good care of it, as our cultivation and Bodhisattva path depends on it. We then talk about how we should transcend the notion of self, others, sentient beings, and longevity or time span. Transcending them allows us to end dukkha and also enables our innate selfless compassion to flow infinitely wide and broad. We spent the third session on giving without abiding in anything, which is key to enabling immeasurable merits, which in turn benefit all immeasurably. And last week, we collectively see or experience or realize Tathagata through seeing the illusionary nature of forms, and by extension, the four other skandhas: feelings, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. So this week, we continue this journey of not clinging, not attaching, or in the words of the sutra, letting go. Let's read. This is why I have often said to you, bhiksus, that even my teachings should be understood to be like a raft. If even the Dharma must be let go of, what about what is not the Dharma? In the raft parable, Buddha now advises us to even let go of the teachings. When the raft reaches the other shore, we get attached to the raft, we'll still be far from the other shore. In this parable, shore here denotes enlightenment, raft here denotes the teachings that guides us to the other shore. But why must we let go of the Buddha Dharma? Because it is still part of the dualistic mental model, that it is duality against samsara. Without samsara, would there be a need for Buddha Dharma? Without sentient beings experiencing dukkha, will there be a need to have Buddha Dharma? Next slide. Then some might say, so when we have truly liberated from samsara in our perception and consciousness, do we still need the Buddha Dharma? If we hold on to it, then we have not yet dissolved all dualities. Then some might say that since we have not reached that stage, so let's hold on to the Buddha Dharma. Maybe it's true, but if we're still drowning in the sea of samsara, holding on to a raft for survival is indeed important. However, we should be constantly mindful of our grip to the raft. The question is whether this grip is done in the expense of casting away and labeling all other dharmas as useless or limited, and thereafter creating the perception within us and others where Buddha Dharma is superior and all other dharmas or beliefs are inferior. If we do that, then we risk tainting our cultivation with mental unevenness, which will limit our cultivation of compassion and accompanying wisdom. So this quote does not serve only to those who are just one step away from complete enlightenment or Anuttara Sambuddhi. It's a reminder for all passengers at any stage of the journey to be mindful of the purpose of the raft, the journey led by the raft, and the goal of the journey. To be aware and mindful that there could be multiple rafts going on in the sea of samsara, not forgetting the possibility of multiple shores involved, and that each arrival of a shore requires one to let go of the previous raft and possibly board another raft. It is a reminder that even during these journeys, we must remain equanimous in our thinking, continuously dissolving the dualities within our minds and hearts. As of now, all of us have the natural tendency to attach, and thus the Buddha emphasizes letting go. To beings who had successfully let go of all attachments, Buddha emphasizes compassion and encourages to look back and see those who are still in samsara. At any point of looking back, one gets attached again. Buddha speaks to them to let go. Just like a pendulum that takes time and patience to end the swinging between the two extremes, Buddha's advice is bespoke to our individual current situation. This analogy further reinforces the importance of not attaching to the raft of the teachings. In another part of the Diamond Sutra, it says there is no standard Dharma spoken by the Tathagata. And Diamond Sutra is like this diamond that aims to help us in this reflection by cutting through our dualistic perceptions in numerous different contexts. When we have completely dissolved all dualities, the diamonds from the sutra will no longer have any effect on us anymore. In fact, it will become one with the revealed diamond within us, our Buddha nature. And at that point, what is external is internal, what is internal is external, and the dualities of external and internal dissolves away as well. It is by dissolving these dualities that we are truly liberated from entanglements, dukkha, and mental defilements. And that by dissolving all dualities that we can truly be in the shoes of other sentient beings, and therefore embrace our Bodhisattva spirit and vows. I still remember when I first engaged in the teachings, I loved to look out for articles that present the differences in the various belief systems. I enjoyed the intellectual debate or discussion with people of other faiths, and at times engaged erroneously in potential divisive speech. It was this phrase in the Diamond Sutra and the consequence of bad affinities that taught me to let go of such uneven mindset. I began to see past the differences, celebrating them as diversity in cultures within the conditioned phenomena world, and focus more on the love and compassion emphasized by the various founders. As long as the skillful means are genuinely grounded by equanimous compassion and ultimate wisdom, there is no reason for us not to embrace it. And even if there is those that are not genuine in their intentions, they are still our teachers and case studies for us to learn from. So let us continue our conversations in the breakout segment on what phenomenon or even non-phenomenon are we still clinging onto? How is it affecting me? How do you think I can gradually practice letting it go, and what benefits will I and others gain from such a practice? Thanks everyone. Hope you had a good conversation. We ran out of time. Rita was on the verge of sharing a very exciting story. We're talking about raft building and expanding rafts and letting go of our current rafts to build bigger rafts. So let's start sharing your thoughts in the chat group. So light chain practice of letting go the raft, embracing present suffering moment, welcoming with kindness. The gentle kindness will get soft and gentle. Peace and let go. The benefits of letting go, freedom, cessation. Yep, and the truth of impermanence. Bruce, the question is beyond a 10-word answer. Absolutely agree. If you have thoughts and you pen it down in a full email, please feel free to share with the communities of practice. We can circulate with everyone. So continue that, and we shall end the session with the quote for next week, as well as the dedication of marriage. All conditioned phenomenon are like dreams, illusions, bubbles, and shadows, like dew and lightning. One should contemplate them in this way. And Priscilla is going to lead us for the final session of the year before we take a break and come back again next year. Thanks, everyone. Over to Ijin to guide us through the dedication of merit.
Thank you, Joey. And we're looking forward to the next session. Very exciting. So we really hope the check-in session was helpful to you, and we hope you experienced the unconditional love and compassion of this community. But for anyone who might be experiencing a greater need than what today could meet, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us, and you can also reach out to the professional organizations on the screen. So today we don't have too much announcement. Our last session will be on December 26th, and our new sessions will begin on January 16th. And before we check out, so I want to say We are going to invite two special guests after the checkout. So now, let's recite the dedication of merits together to send love and compassion to whoever in need.
Let us now dedicate the goodness of what you have done to all living beings. May kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity pervade all worlds. May we cherish and build affinities to benefit all beings. May Chan, Pure Land, and precepts inspire equality and patience. May our gratitude and humility give rise to great vows.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Now we'll have our usual post-check-in discussion. So please stay around if you have time. Otherwise, we will see each other all again at 11 a.m. next Sunday.